On April 14th, just as the sun was starting to go down around 6 o'clock, people downtown near the Paris Hotel could smell smoke in the air and hear an alarm ringing.
We show up at this restaurant, and so initially when we walked inside, I'm thinking that, this just has to be with, the cook in the back just causing too much smoke and then the system going off.
But they believed it may have been coming from an upper floor, which was a residential over that commercial space there.
We went up a staircase to the second floor and kind of found what we call a center hallway apartment complex. Our hope is that maybe we find somebody and they can tell us that they're home or not home or how long this has been going on.
Logically, we just went to where the sound was and we could hear it coming from behind the door, like directly behind this door.
After finding the room where the alarm was coming from, they knocked on the door but got no answer.
So at that point, my captain made a judgment call, and he said, hey, you know what, guys? We're gonna take down the door.
So our firefighters worked together to use our force entry tools, force the door open, and as soon as we opened the door, we encountered pretty moderate to heavy smoke from the ceiling to the floor.
After forcing their way in, they found a man with second and third degree burns covering his body.
But when I made my way into the room, that's when I was met with an individual who was laying on the ground, unconscious, unresponsive, with significant burns all over him.
As much as you could see that there was a body on the floor.
The scene got pretty hectic very quickly.
With no time to spare, the crew went to work to save the man's life.
With the help of Captain Higgins and I, we had dragged the patient out of the environment that he was currently in into a more clean, safer environment for the patient. And that's where we began to assess him, treat the patient.
For me, it was securing his airway. So grabbing the airway bag, grabbing the BVM, grabbing an MPA to put in his nose to clear the airway, and basically at this point we're doing resuscitation as far as breathing for him.
Everybody worked really well to gain vital signs, get pain management on board, package the patient up, and then we still had that big long staircase to get to, right? So we still had to extricate him down the staircase to the ambulance and then send him off to the UCSD burn center to start his long journey of recovery.
The man was transferred to UCSD with firefighter Giammalva by his side.
So it's really an unknown of how long he would have been in there, and with that being said, I do believe that that patient may have perished in that building if it wasn't for all the factors involved.